The Cubs lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees in a series where they kept the Yankees to 2 runs in all 3 games. That's pathetic. I know that the Yankees have a great pitching staff. Number 1 pitching staff, at least going into the series, overall starting pitching and relief pitching. But damn, this is supposed to be one of the top 5 offenses in the league, and they continue to struggle with high-level pitching. I know most offenses do, but come on. They did get 5 runs on Saturday, and that was great. But that means that they only got 1 other run in the other 2 games, and that was today, Sunday. Plenty of opportunities. I mean, plenty. Welcome back to Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David Butler. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review on YouTube and or any audio platform. Thank you very much. Don't forget to also follow us on Facebook at Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy, and on Twitter at either at David Butler or D Butler 79, or at Born into the Ivy. Seriously, come follow us. It's fun. The Cubs made a trade. We'll get into that here in a few minutes, but it's a good one. I want to say it's a big one. It could be. I'm just not sold that it is for sure. The Yankee review, let's get this out of the way. I talked about it. Game 1, they were 0-for-3 with runners in scoring position, so there just wasn't a whole lot of opportunity. I didn't think this would be the game where they struggled with opportunity. I'm shocked that this was that game on Friday night with Will Warren as the starter pitcher. I know Will is good. He's not as good as the other 2, though. And they created much more opportunity against Max Fried and against Garrett Cole and company. So, 0-for-3 with runners in scoring position. Sometimes you tip your cap. I get that. Just not the game that I thought we were going to be doing that. This Cubs offense is really good against left-handed pitching. If you don't know that, that is a fact. They are really, really good against left-handed pitching. And so Tarek Skubal, everybody who is living in under a rock, Tarek Skubal got traded to the freaking Dodgers. And that sucks. I get that. However, the Cubs will face him on Tuesday, and we'll get into that a little bit more here in a minute. I apologize. It's taking me a minute. I should have had this ready. But the Chicago Cubs against left-handed pitching have a 116 WRC plus and OPS of 771. They're really solid against them. They're not as great as... Oh, no, that's not the full numbers. I'm sorry, guys. It is, so they have a 119 WRC plus for the season. Tops in baseball. That's what I thought. I thought it was much better than that. That's in 1,180 plate appearances. They have an OPS of 785. That is not tops. It's second highest. Washington has a .04 better OPS against lefties. So, having said all that, that's a really good sign because Tarek Skubal is pitching against us on Tuesday. His career ERA against the Cubs, but he's never pitched at Wrigley, is a 4.14. Let's hope the wind blows out some. It's too bad David Peterson's not pitching. But Javier Assad is. We'll see how that goes. As of right now, it's Javier Assad. So, as a team, Game 1, 0-for-3. Game 2, 2-for-9. Game 3, 1-for-9. 3 for 21 with runners in scoring position. That's inexcusable, and it cannot keep happening. This has got to stop today. For the weekend, you're going to have little stints like that. It just can't be any longer. As a team, they hit 143 and that 321 for 21. The pitching was excellent. Absolutely fantastic. Could have been a little bit better, but, I mean, seriously, man. Shota, 6 2/3, gave up 2 runs, both via the homer. That kind of sucked, but he limited it, right? And David Peterson, 6 1/3, gave up 2 runs, one of them earned. That was a home run as well. And Colin Ray, 6 innings today, off a 2-run homer. 2 runs in those 6 innings. Nobody gave up more than 2 runs, and they were all the starters. The bullpen went 8 strong innings of scoreless baseball for the weekend. Phenomenal. If you told me that was going to happen, I felt really good about our chances to win the series. I really thought that we were going to win 2 out of 3. We should have. We didn't. It happens, guys. It sucks, but it happens. So, latest rumor mills. Before we do that, a trade happened. Kevin Gausman, right-handed pitcher from the Toronto Blue Jays, the same Kevin Gausman who was a big starter for them in the World Series against said Dodgers, was traded, and he is a rental, folks, for outfielder Brett Bateman and infielder Ty Southesine. Southesine is probably the guy who hurts the most here as far as possible upside. Bateman has been in the system for a good while. He's having a good year at AAA. He's a great contact guy. Hits for average, has some speed, no power. The highest, so I've got MLB, Pipeline, Baseball America, Prospects Live, ESPN, Fangraph, and Greg Huss. If you're not following Greg Huss on Twitter and his podcast that he has, you should be. He does a really nice job with it. He's got a couple other guys on there. I don't know their rankings, but a great podcast to follow if you want to learn more about the minor league system. Ty Southesine is ranked as high as 10th in baseball with Baseball America. He is ranked as low as 27th with Fangraphs. But is a guy who's in South Bend, or was in South Bend at high A, but is blocked by so many other middle infielders, let alone the middle infielders that are currently on the Major League roster. So, yeah, it sucks, but it's the way it is. And it's part of it. You got to give up good guys. Brett Bateman, I said I like him. He's had a good year. He's 24 years old, plays at AAA. His highest ranked is 21 with MLB Pipeline. Baseball America does not even have him ranked. 30th is his lowest with Fangraphs. Greg Huss has him at 20th. And Prospects Live didn't have him ranked either, or ESPN. So I think this is a good trade for the Cubs. Potential to be a good trade. I like much. I'm going to liken it some with the same reason I liked the guys from New York with Clay Holmes, Freddie Peralta, and I'm not giving up on the Clay Holmes possibility. But I liken it as their defense. Toronto's defense is not as bad as Mets, but it's certainly not even close to as good as the Cubs. His FIP is 3.51 this year. His ERA is 4.38. So he's had some bad luck. Expected ERA was 3.95 even. So he's had some bad luck, and I think that can be reversed with the Cubs, possibly some at Wrigley, but just in general being with the Cubs and having a better support system behind it. For whatever reason, Toronto has not been even close to the same team that they were last year. And that's just the facts of it, right? I think that it is a much better spot for him to finish out the year and help set him up for probably his last contract. He's 35 years old right now. So I don't know if the Cubs would keep him. Part of that would probably depend on how this next couple months goes. But I'm really, really excited about the possibilities that he can be. I don't know that he's much better than guys like Shota and Matthew Boyd, but he definitely lifts the rotation for sure. I'll take him every day over Peterson, who I really, really like. I'll take him every day over Colin, and I'll take him every day over Javier Asai. So, I overall really, really like the trade. I don't know when he last played, so I'm going to try and find that. Bear with me. I'm not going to take a ton of time. I'm sorry. That's probably something I should have looked at, but it happened really quick. So he last pitched yesterday on Saturday. He's not going to pitch in this Dodgers series, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can make through this, right? Exciting. I'm excited.
Go Cubs, go!
This trade. Latest rumors. I've seen some rumors about Clay Holmes. I've seen rumors about George Kirby. George Kirby would be absolutely fantastic. I don't think that we get George Kirby without giving up Seiya Suzuki, though. So if that happens, and it would probably take another, it would definitely take some high minor league guys because Kirby would be owed or is controlled for a little bit here. Another couple years, I think. At least one more year, if not two. This dude, though, has some high upside. And he's shown it quite a bit in the last couple of years. I would be just head over heels over, like that would be amazing. I would be ecstatic with Reed Detmers, depending on what we give up. Unless we gave up like 3 of the top 5 prospects to get Kirby, if we did that and we kept Seiya, I'd probably be happy with that too, to be frank, because that's how much I really like George Kirby. But Reed Detmers is probably the guy that I think would really help set us up better. I think he would be in a much better spot. Has solid numbers, really good numbers actually. Has great peripherals and high strikeout rate, really low walk rate. Kevin Gausman, really low walk rate. Mid-level, he's a 23.5% strikeout guy. On Baseball Savant, his strength is 86th percentile in chase rate, 77th percentile in walk rate, and his fastball run value is 96th percentile. That's really, really good, folks. You know what I mean? A lot to like about this trade and the potential of it. Southazine is good and has high upside, I think, but isn't going anywhere in the Cubs organization because they just have too many middle infield guys at the top already, let alone guys in front of him in the minors. So he was expendable, to be frank. Brett Bateman takes away a little bit of outfield depth, but there are way better outfielders in the Cubs minor league system than that, to be frank. So, injuries, all via MLB.com. I'm going to go through a rash of them here real quick. Injury updates. Ben Brown, pain-free and has resumed daily throwing. Continues to increase intensity and volume. This is a great sign, but I hope they are cautious. Hobie Milner has had 2 outings. Pitched yesterday in Iowa for his second appearance. Gave up 1 run and 1 in the third. I'm guessing from everything I've heard, he's up for this next series. Probably not available tomorrow, but I think for the rest of the pen, I think that the only guy not available tomorrow would be Ryan Rollison. I think it would be awesome if Jacob Webb can have 1 more day off, and then he could be available Tuesday and Wednesday. I think if he pitches tomorrow, which he would be available, I think, probably not available on Tuesday, though, if that happens. Gavin Hollowell went on the IL after experiencing shoulder soreness. Edward Cabrera had his first rehab start, did not go well. 1 2/3 innings, 43 pitches, and gave up 3 runs. Just not a great start, but his first start in well over a month. So we'll see how the second one goes. Palencia might be clear for a rehab assignment after throwing live BP on Saturday. That would be amazing news. Same with Hunter Harvey. Might be cleared. He's throwing bullpens in Arizona. And Matt Shaw started to resume light hitting while rehabbing in Arizona, was limited to non-contact swinging over the past week. And Ethan Roberts, after yesterday, has now had 5 rehab assignments. I'd be surprised if he doesn't come up this week too, to be honest, because they seem to have gone well overall. 5 rehab starts is a lot. I know he was out for a good while as well, but I think he and Milner coming back would be a huge, huge thing. I would expect that probably Savali or Antoine Kelly. Kelly just goes back down, I would think. And then Aaron Savali would probably be DFA'd, especially after throwing 18 pitches today. Maybe he gets kept, though, and Jake Woodford gets DFA'd. I could see it being Savali because he pitched today on Sunday. I don't know. I would prefer to keep Savali over Woodford if I had to choose, though. right? Probable starters. I don't have a whole lot of career stats on these guys today. I'm really sorry I don't. But on Monday we got Justin Robleski against lefty. Robleski's a lefty too. Against lefty Matthew Boyd. Justin is 11-2 with a 2.88 ERA. But I told you, Cubs are the best team against left-handed pitchers. They got a couple of really tough ones here, Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see how that goes. Boyd is 6-1 with a 3.41 ERA, has been phenomenal since coming back from his injury. On Tuesday, they got lefty Tarek Skubal 7-5 with a 2.79, a career of 4.14 against the Cubs, though. Apparently all in Detroit, though. Against righty Javier Assad, 6-1 with a 3.75 ERA. And on Wednesday, left-handed pitcher Eric Lauer. However, I've also heard that it could be righty Roki Sasaki. I'm not sure. What I saw more of, though, was Eric Lauer, so I went with him. 6-5 with a 4.50 ERA against left-handed pitcher Shota Imanaga, 7-9 with a 3.67. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Roki and we got the Japanese pitchers going against each other. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happen. Dodgers are in first place in the NL West and currently have a 69-42 record, which is tied with the freaking Brewers. However, they are playing right now against the Boston Red Sox and are in danger of being swept by them as they are losing, and they would be a half game then behind Milwaukee. They're 6-4. I really don't like the fact that they would be on a 3-game losing streak coming to Chicago. That makes me a bit uncomfortable. Their offense is ranked second in the league at 5.12. The Cubs are fourth at 5.09 runs per game. Their team ERA is fifth in the league at 3.54, while the Cubs are 4.05, 13th in the league. That is far better than they were after the All-Star break even. Over the past couple of weeks, they have really steadied the ship, but they just need those more reinforcements to feel more comfortable against high-level teams. Their starting pitching ERA is the best in the majors at a 3.36. Cubs are 4.25 and 14th. And their bullpen, though, is a little susceptible if we can get to the right guys. They have a 4.01 ERA in the pen, 15th in the majors, so right in the middle. Cubs are 3.91, 12th in the majors. They are led offensively by Shohei Ohtani. That's not a surprise by anybody. He is battling with his bulky knee right now, so hopefully he doesn't play every game. I don't know. He's got a 939 OPS, though, and this dude is a stud. We all know this. If he doesn't play, it's not like they don't have a ton of other studs. Freddie Freeman, 876 OPS. Max Muncy, who kills us, 840 OPS. And Dalton Rushing was the fourth highest OPS of guys who have over 200 at-bats. I was a little surprised by that. I can't stand this guy. And it mainly is because of what he said about Miguel Amaya. He's a fat. Can't stand this dude. And it's not just that. He's done this guy, for a rookie, has done a lot already. At 809 OPS, though, for him. And Kyle Tucker, I just want to throw this in, lower than league average at 700 OPS, and this dude is being paid $60 million this year. And the next 3 years after that. Great job, LA. The problem is they can afford that kind of mistake. Their bullpen is led by left-handed pitcher Tanner Scott with a 2.42 ERA. Alex Vesia, that dude's a stud, an underrated stud, with an ERA of 2.61. Edgardo Henriquez with a 2.72 ERA, a righty, and right-hander Jack Dreyer with a 3.07 ERA. Real quick, too. Nope, I forget what. Oh, on the guys, I would really, really be happy if it ends up being a guy like George Kirby, but it's probably going to be more a guy like Reed Detmers or Jose Soriano. Guys under control. Detmers is by far my preference there, but I would be happy with Soriano. But if they go with a guy like Clay Holmes, I'm good with that if that means they go with a big-time arm for a relief pitcher. If you want to spend your a couple of great prospects on getting a guy, and I'm not even going to say his name, on a really good bullpen arm, cool, man. That's great. I mean, but I'm talking great level bullpen arm for that. I'm cool with that if we get Clay Holmes and we can do that. My preference ultimately, though, is the starter and a guy like Kirby Yates, who ain't going to cost that much and will be high level for the back end of our bullpen. All right, I'll shut up about that. We'll be back tomorrow, though, for another episode just about the trade deadline. I will get on and be focused on all that from 5 to 6, and I'll do a quick episode right after that. I may even get on live for the first time if I can figure out how to do all that. So, the players of the week this week: Alex Bregman, position player, 6 doubles, 1 home run, 8 runs, 3 RBIs, 500 average, 556 on base, 875 slug, and a 1.431 OPS. Matthew Boyd was the starter of the week, 7 innings and 1 start, 0 ERA, 160 batting average against, 250 on base, 200 slug, and a 450 OPS. And Jacob Webb was the relief pitcher of the week, 4 games, 4 1/3 innings, 0 ERA, and a 438 OPS against. So don't forget to follow us on Clark and Addison, Born Into the Ivy. And follow us on Twitter and or any audio platform. Not follow us on Twitter too, but follow us on YouTube. My bad. And like and subscribe. Leave us some comments and everything else. Also don't forget Twitter, DButler79 and at Born Into the Ivy. Have a great day. Let's go Cubs.